Israel stalls entry of some aid trucks into battered Gaza. United Nations says there is no clarity over what aid is allowed into Gaza, and Israel continues to halt trucks from entering the blockaded enclave, demanding assistance to rebuild must bypass its Hamas government. Much needed humanitarian aid for Gaza is being stalled at its border crossing controlled by Israel despite a ceasefire. After 11 days of Israel's relentless bombing of the enclave, Gaza is struggling to pick up the pieces. Critical shortages of food, water, and medical supplies have been reported by the United Nations and Gaza officials after the deadly assault. By Monday, the Israel Defense Ministry body in charge of crossing said it would allow humanitarian aid to enter the Palestinian enclave on Tuesday. However, the UN says there is no clear directive on the nature of the aid Israelis will allow. There seems to be a lack of clarity on the kind of goods that can cross at this point, UN spokesperson Stephen Dujarric said. The Erez crossing is open for international humanitarian personnel. Regarding the Kremen Salmon crossing, no trucks containing humanitarian goods have crossed into Gaza today or commercial goods, we told reporters late on Monday. Some hundreds of trucks are still waiting at various crossings to take in aid into the enclave. Over the weekend, Egypt opened the Rafah crossing and began sending in aid and also transferred injured to be treated in its hospitals by bypassing Gaza government to rebuild. An Israeli defense official said on Monday that aid to rebuild conflict-battered Gaza must bypass its Hamas government and instead flow through an international mechanism to reach people directly. Israel enforced a total blockade on Gaza in 2007, and after the more religious Hamas party won an election against the more secular Fatah party and took control of the densely populated enclave. Israel argues the measures are necessary to isolate Hamas. US President Joe Biden said in a statement that part of Blinken's trip would include working on the coordinated international efforts to ensure immediate assistance reaches Gaza in a way that benefits the people there and not Hamas. The Israeli official, who has not authorized to speak publicly on the matter, said the aid must be managed to rehabilitate Gaza without posing a threat to Israel. The officials, who spoke a day before US Secretary of State Antony Blinken visits the region, said aid deliveries would have to involve West Bank Palestinian Authority, which has worked with Hamas in the past to deliver donations to Gaza. Blinken began a Middle East visit in Israel on Tuesday, seeking to bolster calm in the region. Blinken was also due to visit Ramallah in the occupied West Bank, Cairo and Amman, with US harboring every hope and expectation the ceasefire would continue to hold, a senior State Department official said. Our primary focus is to maintaining the ceasefire, getting the assistance to the people who need, said the official who spoke on Monday on the condition of anonymity. Egypt brokered the truce in coordination with the United States. Israeli soldiers opened fire on the boy as he was passing near an illegal occupied settlement west of Ramallah. Speaking to Andola agency, witness said that the boy had been wounded in the shoulder and was transferred to Palestinian Medical Center in Ramallah by first aid teams affiliated with Palestinian Red Crescent. Health officials also noted that he underwent surgery and was in stable conditions. Thank you.